Welcome to Commander Tilt. My name is Clark. Here's a little bit about my channel. I do 1 versus 1 commander games. I make budget commander decks, and I like to play them against themselves with the idea that I'm going to figure out which of my decks is the strongest, most powerful, and not that strongest is most powerful is the best, but I just like to try to figure out how the decks play, and I like to play games. I like to build decks. It's a good synergy. I do like to try to figure out which of my decks plays the best, and then also when I practice playing them, I get to see which decks, which cards aren't fitting and which ones I need to take out or put in. So it's just a practice for me, but I decided to start televising it because some of my games get really interesting. I like the way that I've set up this bracket system where the decks go against themselves. They do a best of 3 matches, and then the winner moves on to the second bracket, and then the winner goes on. I've been doing this quite a while, and I like the competition base, like who's going to win, who's going to be the last standing, who's going to defeat everybody. Now, the 2 decks that I'm focusing on today are both Bant decks, Bant being green, white, and blue. I actually have 4 Bant decks, but 2 of them are in this competition today. I'm doing Chulane, Teller of Tales versus Phelddagrif. Chulane, Teller of Tales was a Brawl Precon deck that I just bought the Precon deck, and then I just spent a little bit of time, added, the extra cards to build it up to a full-size deck. I didn't take very many cards out of the original Precon. I just added cards in, and I added land to make it a fully functioning commander deck. On the other hand, Phelddagrif is one of my favorite decks. In fact, if my house were burning down and I could only save 1 or 2 decks, Phelddagrif would be one of them. I just love this deck. It is so fun. And the reason I like it so much is because, first off, I should mention here, it is not a group hug deck. It is an alternate win condition deck. It plays around with alternative win conditions. It doesn't usually attack ever. I mean, every once in a while, but it's very, 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 very rare. Its main win conditions are something completely different. So I am going to point out the card Angel's Trumpet because it's not a common card. It says, attacking does not cause creatures to tap. At the end of each player's turn, tap all untapped creatures he or she controls that did not attack this turn. Angel's Trumpet deals 1 damage to that player for each creature tapped this way. So it gives vigilance to all creatures, but then it taps every creature down that didn't attack. So it is a strange win condition because, like I said, it deals 1 damage for each creature that it taps down. It basically says everything has to attack. I want to tell a little bit about the 3 matches that I did before I created this video. In the first battle, Phelddagrif was it was green mana blocked. I couldn't get at green mana for about 5 or 6 turns, and it just could not get anything going, and it lost to Chulane. The second battle went quite differently. Chulane had his usual game plan of basically ramping creatures ramping. Phelddagrif, however, got some defenses up early, and then got the Gideon Champion of Justice down. And there was enough creatures on the board that when he did his skill, he bumped up to like a 20-20. And the opposing deck, Chulane, could only do about 10 or 15 damage each turn because of propaganda and some other things that were going on. So Gideon just kept pumping bigger and bigger and bigger. Didn't attack the entire game with Phelddagrif until the last turn, when I was able to cast something like Sleep, I think, and there was no defenders, and Gideon was a 41 loyalty planeswalker, so I turned Gideon into a 41/41 creature and attacked and 1-shot killed Chulane. So when I went to record this 3rd video, I knew that the first battle was kind of a stinker, and then the second battle, the video recording failed, and I didn't get a copy of that really cool win with the 41/41 Gideon. So it was a lot of pressure on this 3rd game to be a really good game worth editing and turning into a video for YouTube. And I was so pleasantly surprised that this was by far the most interesting and exciting battle. I had an hour and 10 minutes worth of raw footage that I was managed to compact down into about 26 minutes of game feed. Another thing to notice, and I did this for editing, you will notice in the video today that when, especially towards the end of the game, when I say, okay, we're going to untap, I basically show one or two things untapping and then clip to when everything's untapped, because the boards got so big that it actually took a lot of time to untap everything, and it was just wasted time that you didn't really need to watch. So in the early part of the game, it's real quick, just untap one thing. But towards the end, when I was untapping full 15 lands and 17 creatures, it's just a little bit to watch. So just note that I did clip that out. I do hope you enjoy the video today. And with that, we'll get started with the hands. Phelddagrif's opening hand was Propaganda, Sleep, Selesnya Signet, Seaside Citadel, Thornwood Falls, a Forest, and a Snow-Covered Forest. Chulane's opening hand was Frilled Mystic, Elvish Mystic, Unwind, Slippery Karst, Temple of Mystery, an Island, and a Forest. Phelddagrif won the die roll. We'll get started after this introduction. My name is Fontero, and I'll be narrating this battle today. Now you might be wondering why Phelddagrif isn't doing it himself, and I'll be telling you. The reason is, Phelddagrif, he doesn't talk much. He doesn't like to talk at all. So, when it came time to narrate this battle, it came down to just a wee number of characters. Now, of course, we asked first Baird Stewart of Argive, but he was all huffing and puffing, telling me, "Oh God, may our country to run." Whatever Argive is, I'm not really even sure. And a Stewart? What does a Stewart even do? So, of course, next we talked to, what is that guy's name? He's some kind of a planeswalker. As soon as we started to talk to him, he vanished. So it really was just down to me and just a few other things. And I said, well, I'm a diligent worker. I'll help you. So here I am, ready to narrate the battle. And with that, we shall begin. The draw of a turn's going to be Unwind. Put down a Thornwood Falls for our land drop and gain a life. Then we'll pass the turn.
First I shall put down a Temple of Mystery, allowing me to scry. I witness the Sagu Molar, which I shall leave on top, and pass the turn.
Draw for turn is going to be Blunt the Assault. We're going to put down our land drop. It's going to be a Snow-Covered Forest. Tapping 2 will play the Selesnya Signet, and pass the turn.
First I shall untap. My draw is, of course, the Sagu Molar. I shall play a Slippery Karst. Coming into play tapped, I'll tap 1 mana for the Elvish Mystic and pass the turn.
First we'll untap. The draw's going to be the Azorius Chancery. We'll put down the Azorius Chancery and we've got to bounce the forest back to our hand and then we'll pass the turn.
First we shall untap. A draw for turn shall be the Azorius Charm. Shall put down an island for my land. Then I shall tap all of my mana for the morph creature, Sagu Molar. But don't let my opponent know. Moving to combat, I'll swing the Elvish Mystic, hitting for 1 damage, and pass the turn.
First we'll untap. Our draw shall be the Dictative Crufix. We'll put down a Snow-Covered Forest and pass the turn.
First I shall untap. My draw for turn is a Blossoming Sands. I shall play said Blossoming Sands, gaining 1 life. Very cheery. Next, I shall tap my mana. I think I shall play Frilled Mystic. I shall attack with my morph creature.
No blocks.
You shall take 2 damage, and I pass the turn.
On your second main phase, I'm going to tap the mana for Dictative Crufix. Next I'll untap for my turn, allowing me to draw 2 cards. I'll get Cast Out. and Yavamaya Granger. I'll put down a forest for my land drop. Next I'm going to tap the mana for propaganda.
Well, that really butters my biscuits.
And I'll pass the turn.
Propaganda is such a difficult spell to get around. I shall untap all my mana and my creatures. My draw is the World Soul Colossus. I'm gonna put down a forest. And then tap the mana for Chulane, Teller of Tales. I shall tap 2 mana to activate Propaganda, allowing me to attack with the Frilled Mystic. I did forget to draw my second card because of Dictate of Crufix. I shall draw it, and it is a Plains. And I pass the turn.
First I'm going to untap. Got 2 draws. First is going to be the Diligent Farmhand. He looks familiar and mighty handsome if you ask me. Also get the Crown of Doom, a card that's pretty useless in a 1v1 game. I'll put down a Seaside Citadel for my land drop. Comes into play tapped. I'll tap 1 mana for that handsome fella, and I'll pass the turn.
We shall untap first. My draw for turn is going to be a Snake Form and the Simic Guildgate. I shall put a Plains down and then tap all my mana. And then I tap all my creatures, convoking in the World Soul Colossus. X equals 8. It is an 8/8 creature. The Chulane trigger allows me to draw a card, which is a forest. I'm also allowed to put a land down onto the battlefield, which is a Simic Guildgate. Being tapped out, I shall pass the turn.
At first I'm going to untap. My draws are going to be Chronomantic Escape and Circuitous Route. Tap mana for Cast Out, taking out the World Soul Colossus. And I'll pass the turn.
That's really unfortunate. I'm going to untap all my land and all my creatures. I get 2 draws and I get Conclave Guildmage and Leafkin Druid. I shall put down a forest for my land for turn. Next, I'm going to tap the mana for the Conclave Druid. Chulane triggers and I'm allowed to draw a card, which is a forest. And I'm allowed to place a land onto the battlefield, which is also the same forest. Next, I shall tap the mana for Leafkin Druid, which allows me to draw the card Winged Quattle. I'll spend the rest of my mana flipping over my morph creature, Sagumalar. Since I am now tapped out, I cannot pay for propaganda, and I shall pass the turn.
On your end step, I'm going to tap the mana to sacrifice the Diligent Farmhand, fetching up a snow-covered forest and putting it into play tapped. Next, I shall untap all my mana. My draw shall be the snow-covered forest and an island. I'll put down the forest for my land drop. Then I'll tap the mana for the Chronomantic Escape. No creatures can attack me until my next turn. And then it's suspended with 3 time counters. I get to cast it again. Still pay the mana for the Yavamaya Granger. Comes into play, I get to fetch up a snow-covered forest and put it into play. Then I'll pass the turn.
Right, first I'm going to untap. Then I'm going to draw 2 cards. I get Aetherling and Phyrexian Ingester. Now there we go. I'm going to tap the mana for the Aetherling and put him onto the battlefield. Chulane triggers, allowing me to draw a card. My draw is a Gyre Engineer, but I do not have a land to put onto the battlefield. I'll tap the Druid for mana, and put down the Gyre Engineer, which allows Chulane to trigger and I draw a Mystic Snake. I cannot attack, and I'll pass the turn.
Okay, first I'm going to untap. I'm not going to pay the echo cost for the Yavimaya Granger. Let's go to the graveyard. My draws are going to be Temple Bell and Rewind. I'll put an island down for my land. Then I'm going to tap the mana. Or the Temple Bell. Taking a look at my options. Next I'm going to tap all the mana for sleep, putting all of my enemies to sleep for a turn.
Well, bugger me, I can't believe it.
That's right, tap them down now. That's better. With that I'll pass the turn.
Hey, I'm gonna untap all of my land, but I can't untap my creatures. I draw as Woodvine Elemental and Incubation Druid. I'll spend the mana for the Incubation Druid. Chulane triggers allowing me to draw the Thorn Mammoth. And since I can't attack with any of my creatures, I'm gonna spend the mana and adapt the Incubation Druid, give it +3/+3. But I'm mainly doing it so I can tap it for more mana. And I'll pass the turn.
At first I'm going to untap. Next I'm going to tap the Temple Bell. But I'm going to redact my statement and say I tapped it on my previous turn.
I get to draw Time Warp.
I draw Farhaven Elf. Then I finish my untap step and the Temple Bell comes untapped. Draws a Briar Patch and Rites of Flourishing. Tap the Azorius Chancery first. Then I'm going to use my mana to tap the Selesnya Signet down. I'm going to bring out Phelddagrif. There's me hippo. Oh, I love this guy. Next I'm going to tap 3 green mana and give him 3 hippos.
You sure you want to do that?
And I'll pass the turn.
Okay. I'm going to untap my mana. And now I get to untap all my creatures this turn. My draw is an island and the Guiltspire Avenger. I forgot last turn to discard the hand size, and I'll throw the Mystic Snake and the Thorn Mammoth into the graveyard. I'll put an island down for my land for turn. Then I'm gonna tap 2 mana for the Aetherling and 4 mana for the Sagu Mauler's Propaganda trigger.
Alright, I'm going to spend the mana and cast the instant Blunt the Assault. He's got 13 creatures on board, so I gain 13 life and no damage is dealt.
That is really a buggery boo. I'll pass the turn.
On this turn I lose my last suspense counter and Chronomantic Escape is cast again. It goes back to suspend, and nothing can attack me for a turn. The draws are going to be Orm's Prayer and Teferi's Moat. Quite excited about that card. Next I'm going to tap a bunch of mana down for Teferi's Moat, naming the colour green. Now of course Chronomantic Escape takes priority, nothing can attack me. But at the end of his next turn it'll switch over and nothing can attack me that's green. I'm going to tap the Temple Bell, which allows me to draw a Tranquil Cove, and I'll put that down for my land drop.
My draw is going to be the Evolving Wilds.
Next I'm going to tap the mana for a Briar Patch and pass the turn.
I'm going to untap my lands. I'm going to untap my creatures as well. Can't attack at all this turn. I draw as an island. I'll put down that island for my land for turn, and then I'm gonna tap mana. Got so much mana, I've really got to think about which things I'm gonna tap. I'm gonna cast the Phyrexian Ingester, targeting the Phelddagrif.
I'm gonna interrupt that. Taking priority, I'm gonna tap down mana and give you some more hippos, and then Phyrexian Ingester resolves, sending Phelddagrif back to the command zone.
Next, I'm gonna tap the mana for... Oh, I forgot, when I cast Phyrexian Ingester, I get to draw Seaside Citadel. And tap the mana for Propaganda to attack with the Aetherling.
You forget nothing can attack me this turn.
Oh, boogers.
I shall untap. Chronomantic Escape is gone, but still nothing green can attack me. And with Briar Patch down, every attacker gets -1/-0 until the end of turn. The draws for this turn are going to be the Bident of Thassa and a Simic Signet. I'll tap the Temple Bell again, and I'll get to draw a Naya Panorama.
I'll draw an island for that trigger, but then I remember I forgot to discard the hand size last turn. I'm going to throw down the Evolving Wilds and the Guiltspire Avenger into the graveyard.
Next I'm going to tap the mana for this Simic Signet, and then I'm going to tap the mana for Circuitous Route. Fetching up 2 forests, I'll drop them onto the battlefield. Tapped. Next I'm going to tap all the mana, so I can get Phelddagrif out onto the battlefield again, paying the commander tax. I'll sacrifice the Naya Panorama, fetching up another forest, then I'll pass the turn.
I'm going to untap my lands. My draw is Sharkto Crab and Naturalize. Naturally, I shall naturalize Teferi's Moat.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Now I can get my creatures through! Exciting day! Moving to combat. I'm gonna pay for propaganda. I'm sending the Sagu Mauler, the Aetherling, and the Phyrexian Ingester into combat.
You've got no blockers. I'll take the damage.
So spend 3 blue mana, pumping the Aetherling up +3. But Briar Patch slows down my creatures and my total damage is 17. Post-combat, I'll put an island down, and then pay the mana for Sharkto Crab, which allows me to draw Lay of the Land, and Chulane's trigger allows me to put down the Seaside Citadel. I'll play Lay of the Land, which brings the plains to my hand, and I shall pass the turn.
First I'm going to untap. Chronomantic Escape drops down to 1 counter. My draws are going to be the Hallowed Fountain and Sphere of Duty. We'll tap the Temple Bell. My draw's going to be Epiphany at the Drowned Yard.
My draw is going to be an island.
I'll put on the Hallowed Fountain for my land drop, but I'm not going to pay the 2 life. It comes into play tapped. And I'll tap the mana for Sphere of Duty.
First, I shall untap. My draw is Regenesis and the Risen Reef. I shall put an island down for my turn. And then I tap mana for the spell Winged Quattle. Flying Flash and Death Touch. I mainly did it so the Chulane would trigger and I draw Incubation Incongruity. And I'm allowed to put a plains onto the battlefield. Next, I tap the mana to activate Propaganda. Move into combat. I'll swing Aetherling and the Phyrexian Ingester and pump the Aetherling up with my blue mana. +4, -4.
Of course, I've got no blockers. I'm forced to take the damage. But I'm going to take priority and cast Epiphany at the Drowned Yard. What X is 11, so we'll draw 12 cards. My draws are Azorius Guildgate, Plains, Meandering River, Dream Tides, Snake Farm, Illusionist's Gambit, Profound Journey, Cross and Verge, Naya Panorama, Righteous Cause and Kodama's Reach. Split them up into 2 piles. I'll take a look and see which ones he gives me. I'll make sure to split the mana evenly, and I'll put the most significant spells, split them between the 2 of them.
Can't believe it! I honestly can't decide which one is worse for me. So I'm going to roll a die. 1 through 3, 4 through 6. You can have this pile.
Looks like I get the pile on the right. Profound Journey and Illusionist's Gambit are the best 2 cards in the pile. Pretty happy with Profound Journey.
Combat resolves and you'll take 15 damage from my creatures. And I shall pass the turn.
Alright, first I'm going to untap. Chronomantic Escape drops to 0 and gets cast. My draws are going to be Angel's Trumpet and a Forest. I'm going to spend the mana for the Angel's Trumpet first. Next I'm going to take my land drop. It's going to be the Forest, of course. Angel's Trumpet is one of my win conditions. It takes into account all the creatures on the board and taps them down for damage. It's quite brutal because I usually have 0 to 1 creature and I'm loading them up with lots and lots of creatures. Next I'm going to cast Profound Journey, which brings Teferi's Moat back onto the battlefield, and this time I'm going to select blue. Nothing blue can attack me.
Going to untap all my mana. My draws are Tranquil Cove and Paradise Druid. I take one look at that Angel's Trumpet and realize I am really in trouble with this many creatures. I'm gonna tap the mana for the board wipe, Time Wipe. Time Wipe allows me to take one creature and put it into my hand. I shall select the Phyrexian Ingester to come to my hand, but I shall take a moment, spend a blue mana, and send the Aetherling into the void to be returned to the battlefield on my end step. Next, all of my creatures go to the graveyard except Chulane, which goes to the command zone. Goodbye, hippos!
I do have an effect. I'm going to spend 1 blue mana and return Phelddagrif to my hand. This allows you to draw a card.
My draw is the Endraze Forerunners. I'm gonna spend the mana for the Endraze Forerunners.
Oh, I do not like you putting a green creature down. I'm going to go and spend the mana for Rewind, countering the Endraze's Forerunner.
That is really unfortunate. On my end step, the Aetherling comes back into play, the Angel's Trumpet taps it, and I take a damage. I shall pass the turn.
Alright, Teferi's Moat is up and it's blue now. None of your blue creatures can attack me. Chronomantic Escape drops down to 2. I'm going to untap all my mana. Next, taking a look at my board state, I'm going to draw a Howling Mind and an Evolving Wilds. Forgot to discard the hand size last turn, and I'm going to discard 3 lands. Next, I'm going to go ahead and tap the mana for Phelddagrif out of my hand. A land drop for this town's going to be an Evolving Wild, which I'll immediately crack and fetch up a Forest. On my end step, the Phelddagrif taps for 1 damage due to the Angel's Trumpet, and I'll pass the turn.
I shall untap all my mana. My draws are Azorius Guildgate and Firemind Vessel. I shall put the Azorius Guildgate onto the battlefield. and then cast Phyrexian Ingesta, targeting Phelddagrif.
I have an effect. I'm going to tap all my green mana and give Phelddagrif trample and give ya a boatload of hippos. Are you ready for this? 12 hippos on your face.
I don't really want all these hippos. This is quite extraordinary. Moving to combat, I shall swing with the Aetherling.
You forgot Aetherling can't attack up got the fairy's motor. All of your creatures tap, you got 12 hippos that hit you for damage.
14 total creatures, 14 damage.
I'm gonna go ahead and untap. My draws are a blossoming sands and an island. Now you can see my battle plan. His green creatures can't attack me because the Sphere of Duty allows them to do no damage as well as propaganda slowing everything down. The fairy's mode blue means his blue creatures can't attack either. I'm gonna play the mana for Phelddagrif. And then I'll put a land drop down, it's a Blossoming Sands. On me end step, the Phelddagrif taps and hits me for 1 damage. No big deal. I'll go ahead and pass the turn.
Okay, I'm gonna untap all my hippos and all my land. My draws are going to be Island and Supply Demand. I'm gonna cast the demand side of the card, searching for an answer. Some kind of big green creature would be most helpful. I settle on Armada Worm, which is 2 big green creatures. I'll spend the mana for Armada Worm, which puts 10 power and 10 toughness in the form of 2 creatures onto the battlefield. A worm and a worm token.
I do have an effect. On your second main phase, I'm gonna tap all my green mana and load you up with a boatload more hippos. This time I've got 11 green mana, which gives you 11 more hippos. Now you've got 23 hippos, which will tap for 1 damage because of the Angel's Trumpet. "23 plus 4 more creatures is 27 damage to your face. And with that, Phelddagrif wins the battle."
I shall concede a valiant effort and a noble victory to you.
There you have it. Phelddagrif is the winner. Phelddagrif is moving on to the semifinals, and the next video I'm going to post is going to be Muldrotha the Gravetide versus Shanna Sisay's Legacy. Muldrotha is a graveyard-based synergy deck, and Shanna is a go-wide strategy, so we'll see what happens. I want to mention right here that EDH Trek has agreed to start posting my videos with the idea that because they like to support all content creators on their website. I want to thank EDH Trek for posting my video, and EDH Trek is one of my favorite websites, so I really appreciate their sponsorship. I do have a Patreon page. Please look at the details in the doobly-doo below, and remember to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye. What is a hippo's favorite type of music? Hip-hop. What do you call a long-haired hippo? A hippie. What's a hippo's favorite dessert? Hippopotamus. What type of oath did Phelddagrif have to take when he became a doctor? The Hippocratic Oath.